evening. Tonight we are going to read Tuck Me In Tales, bedtime stories from around the world by Margaret Read MacDonald and illustrated by Yvonne Davis. Around the world, each night, parents tell stories to children as they put them to bed. Margaret Read MacDonald, a folklorist, storyteller, and children's librarian, used bedtime tales in the daytime to end her story hours on a calm note. Here she includes 5 of her favorites from around the world. Chin Chin Kobokama tells the story of a young Japanese girl who overcomes her fear of the dark and learns there are good reasons to clean up your room. Snow Bunting's Lullaby, a lovely Siberian tale, shows the lengths to which Papa and Mama Bunting must go to protect their children and get some sleep. A South American tale explains the movement of the sun and moon. And Kanji Joe, the Nestlings, a repetitive Liberian tale, shows, as so many folk stories do, that there's no place like home. In elegant, finely detailed watercolors, artist Yvonne Davis joins MacDonald in guiding the reader on a bedtime trip around the world. Snow Bunting's Lullaby, a folk tale from Siberia. In the spring, Mama and Papa Snow Bunting built a nest. Mama laid a tiny egg. She fluffed her feathers and sat on the egg. Mama sat, and then, peep peep, out came a little chick. At once it began to cry. Peep peep, peep peep, peep peep. Mama Bunting said, No, don't cry. I'll sing you a lullaby. She spread her wings over the nest and sang, Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. The baby bird just kept on crying. Peep peep, peep peep, peep peep. Let me try, Mama, said Papa Bunting. Papa Bunting spread his wings over the nest. He sang, Whose little toes are these? Whose little wings are these? Whose little beak is this? Are you asleep? Sure enough, this lullaby put the chick to sleep. Thank you, Papa Bunting, said Mama Bunting. I will sing that lovely song whenever our chick cries. Papa Bunting flew off to find food for the family, and Mama Bunting settled down on the nest. After a while, the chick woke up and began to cry again. Peep peep, peep peep, peep peep. At once, Mama began to sing Papa Bunting's lullaby. Whose little toes are these? Whose little wings are these? Whose little beak is this? Are you asleep? It worked. The chick went back to sleep. But there was Kukta, the raven, flying past. He was listening while Mama sang that lovely song. Mama Bunting, give me that song. I want to sing like that. Oh no, Kudka. I must keep this song. Papa Bunting gave it to me so I could put our baby to sleep. Well, if you won't give it to me, said Kudka, I will just take it. The naughty Kudka snatched the song right out of Mama Bunting's beak and flew off with it. Baby Bunting woke up and began to cry. Peep, 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 peep. But Mama Bunting had no more song to sing. Then Papa Bunting came home. Why aren't you singing, Mama? Why is our baby crying? Kudka the raven stole our song. He snatched it right out of my beak and flew away with it. Papa Bunting's eyes flashed. He stamped his feet. We will see about that. Bring my hunting gloves. Bring my bow and arrows. Papa Bunting set off, running over the snow, looking for Kudka the raven. He spread his wings and began to fly over the mountains, down into a valley. There was the raven colony. Those ravens were all singing their raven song. Car, car, car. Kudka the raven was sitting by himself, singing the song he had stolen. Whose little toes are these? Whose little wings are these? Whose little beak is this? Kudka the raven's. Ha, ha, ha. That raven was laughing at his own joke. Kudka the raven, called Papa Bunting. You give me back my song. No, I won't, shouted Kudka. I'll keep it myself. We will see about that. Papa fitted a tiny arrow on his little bow. Kudka sang, Whose little toes are these? Papa Bunting shot a tiny arrow right at Kudka's toes. Oh, oh, they're my toes, cried Kudka, but he went on singing. Whose little wings are these? Papa Bunting took aim again. Oh, oh, they're my wings. Kudka wouldn't stop. Whose little beak is this? Papa Bunting shot one more arrow. Oh, oh, it's my beak. Car, car, car. Kudka coughed and dropped the song. Papa ran swiftly and grabbed the song from the snow. Goodbye, Kudka. If you want a lullaby, you must make one up yourself. Papa flew straight back to Mama Bunting. Here, Mama, now you can sing to our chick. Mama Bunting spread her wings over the nest and sang, Whose little toes are these? Whose little wings are these? Whose little beak is this? Are you asleep? That baby was asleep. Chin Chin Kobokama, a folk tale from Japan. When Mariko went to bed each night, she cleaned her teeth with a tiny toothpick. But Mariko was too lazy to throw the toothpick away. She would just hide it under a corner of her tatami mat. She had been doing this for so long that there were hundreds of toothpicks under there. One night, Mariko was awakened by shrill little voices. Chin Chin Kobokama. On the floor of her room were hundreds of tiny samurai. Each little warrior carried a sword. They were charging each other and shouting, Chin Chin Kobokama, Chin chin kobokama! In the morning, Mariko was bleary-eyed. She had not slept a wink all night long. That night, Mariko had just fallen asleep when, Chin chin kobokama! They were at it again. Hundreds of tiny samurai, waving their swords and stabbing all around her room. Mariko sat as still as possible and watched them fight. Chin chin kobokama! Chin chin kobokama! Mariko drew her feet up under herself and watched in alarm. She could not set one foot outside her bed for fear the little samurai would slice off her toes. In the morning, Mariko looked sleepier than ever. Her parents couldn't help but notice her sad state when she came to breakfast. Mariko, what on earth is wrong? You look as if you haven't slept at all. Poor Mariko broke down and began to weep. I don't think you will believe me, Father and Mother. Every night, my room is overrun with tiny samurai warriors. They slice the air with their little swords and stab everything in sight. I dare not leave my bed for fear of being chopped. That night, her father came to her room. He sat quietly in one corner with his sword drawn. As soon as Mariko fell asleep, hundreds of tiny samurai began to crawl out from under the tatami mat. Each little man was dragging a tiny sword. They jumped up and began at once to duel. Chin chin kobokama! Chin chin kobokama! Mariko's father watched all of this closely. He saw that each little sword was really nothing more than a toothpick. In the morning, her father questioned Mariko. Do you have any idea where those little samurai are getting their toothpick swords? Slowly, Mariko pulled back the tatami mat. There were hundreds of discarded toothpicks littering the floor. Her father explained that the tiny samurai were drawn to her room because she provided so many excellent swords for their practice. Mariko spent the day cleaning her room. She picked up every toothpick. She cleaned out every crack in those floorboards. She swept and swept and swept until her room was very clean. That night, she slept well at last. And since Mariko never littered her room again, the little samurai did not return. Kanjijo, the Nestlings, a Mende folktale from Liberia. On the banks of the Kanji River, a mother bird laid 5 eggs. For a long time she sat on those eggs. She spread her feathers over them and kept them warm. Now and then she would sing to her eggs. I laid 5 eggs long ago by the Kanji River, oh. I laid 5 eggs long ago. Then she would stand and fluff her feathers. Kanjijo, gebetijo, kanjijo, gebetijo. Just as the chicks were about to pop from their eggs, a hunter caught the mother bird and carried her off. She soon managed to escape from his bag, but by that time she was far from her nest. Meanwhile, the sun shone so warmly on the eggs that they began to hatch. The first egg rolled over. Peck, peck, peck. Out came a baby bird. The second egg began to move. Peck, peck, peck. Out popped another. The third egg, peck, peck, peck. The fourth, peck, peck, peck. The fifth, peck, peck, peck. There were 5 baby birds in the nest. They began at once to cry for their mother. Mama, mama, mama. But there was no mother in sight. Our mother has gone. We must look for our mother. The little birds climbed down from their nest. They began wobbling down the road on their weak little legs. Mama, mama, mama. There was Mrs. Bushfowl. Mama, mama, mama. They clustered around Mrs. Bushfowl. Oh dear, are these my children? Said Mrs. Bushfowl. I didn't know I had 5 children, but they are calling me Mama, so they must be mine. She took the little chicks into their nest. She fed them their supper and put them to bed for the night. In the morning, the 5 little birds looked at their new mother. She was big and brown and fluffy. They were small, and their feathers seemed to be blue. Pardon us, but are you really our mother? Our mother sang a beautiful song when we were in our eggs. Would you sing your song so we will know you are our mother? Mrs. Bushfowl ruffled her feathers. She began to sing. Coco-yay, coco-yay, coco-yay. That's not our mother's song. This is our mother's song. I laid 5 eggs long ago by the Kanji River, oh. I laid 5 eggs long ago. Kanji-jo, gabbity-jo, Kanji-jo, gabbity-jo. That's a lovely song, said Mrs. Bushfowl, but I can't sing like that. I must not be your mother. You'd better go look for her. So the little birds went on down the road. They were feeling stronger now. They marched along calling, Mama, Mama, Mama. In the evening, they met Mrs. Dove. Mama, Mama, Mama. Oh, are these my children? Said Mrs. Dove. I didn't know I had 5 children, but they are calling me Mama. They must be mine. She took them into her nest. She fed them their supper and put them to bed. In the morning, the 5 little chicks looked at their new mother. She was shaped in a special dove way. She seemed not like them at all. Pardon us, but are you really our mother? Our mother sang a beautiful song when we were in our eggs. Would you sing your song so we will know that you are our mother? Mrs. Dove stretched her graceful neck and began to sing. Coo, coo, coo. That's not our mother's song. This is our mother's song. I laid 5 eggs long ago by the Kanji River, oh. I laid 5 eggs long ago. Kanji-jo, gabbity-jo, Kanji-jo, gabbity-jo. That is a lovely song, said Mrs. Dove. I can't sing like that. I am certainly not your mother. You must go and look for her. So the little birds rushed off. Mama, Mama, Mama. In the evening, they met Mrs. Sunbird. Mama, Mama, Mama. Oh my, these big babies are calling me Mama. I didn't know I had 5 children, and so large. Well, come into my nest and I'll give you your dinner. In the morning, the 5 little birds looked at their new mother. She was nearly as small as they were. Can this really be our mother? Our mother sang a beautiful song when we were in our eggs. Sing your song so we will know you are our mother. Mrs. Sunbird began to buzz round the nest, making her song. Kawang, kawang, kawang. That's not our mother's song. This is our mother's song. I laid 5 eggs long ago by the Kanji River, oh. I laid 5 eggs long ago, Kanji Joe, Gibbety Joe, Kanji Joe, Gibbety Joe. What a lovely song! I can't sing like that. I must not be your mother. So the little birds went on their way. Mama, mama, mama. Meanwhile, their mother had escaped from the hunter. She flew back to her home, but the nest was empty. She hurried down the road looking for her chicks. Mrs. Bushfowl, have you seen my children? Were there 5 of them? Mrs. Bushfowl replied. Yes. Did they sing a lovely song? I expect they did. They went right down this road. Mrs. Dove, Mrs. Songbird, have you seen my children? Were there 5 of them? Mrs. Dove answered. Yes. Were they singing a beautiful song? Mrs. Sunbird asked. I think they were. They went right down this road. The mother bird ran after her children. Chick, 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 chick. The chicks heard her calling. They turned and looked. This mother had blue feathers like theirs, only more brilliant. This mother was shaped just like them, only bigger. She was just the right size to be their mother. The 5 little chicks ran to their mother bird. Mama, 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 mama. Chick, 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 chick. They hugged one another. They ruffled one another's feathers. Mother bird made a nest for her babies. She fed them. She put them to bed for the night. Sing us our song. Sing us your songs so we will know you are our mother. Wait, said Mother Bird. In the morning we will sing. In the morning we will dance. In the morning I will teach you how to fly. In the morning, Mother Bird woke first of all. She bent her head over the nest and looked at her sleeping children. Then she sang her song. I laid 5 eggs long ago by the Kanji River, oh. I laid 5 eggs long ago. When the little birds heard that, they jumped to their feet. They began to flap their wings and dance. Kanji Joe, Gabbity Joe. This really was their mother. All day long they danced and sang. Kanji Joe, Gabbity Joe, Kanji Joe, Gabbity Joe, Kanji Joe, Gabbity Joe. And then, in the cool of the evening, they spread their wings and flew. Kanji Joe, Kanji Joe, Kanji Joe. The playground of the sun and moon, an Araucanian folktale from Chile and Argentina. Some people say that high in the sky, the sun lives in a palace of gold. Sun looks out his window each morning to see if moon is in sight. Where are you, little moon? Are you hiding in the nighttime fields, or are you playing in my blue day skies? Sometimes moon is nearby, drifting pale in the bright daytime. She answers sweetly, "Did you call me, sun?" "Sure I called you." Sun shoots his rays toward her. "What do you want to play today?" asks moon shyly. "Ring of Fortune." That is what Sun calls his game of chase. Oh, and how is it played? Then Sun begins to begins to chant the directions. I have 2 rings. That are 2 paths. One is day, the other night. Tell me, moon, which will you take? The gold is day, the silver night. Moon never hesitates at all. Me, I take the night. Then sun jumps up laughing. Then run, 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 and if I catch you, I get your silver ring. So moon dances off through the blue sky, and sun runs happily after. Of course sun never catches moon. Moon crosses the sky and slips away into her lovely fields of darkness. There she dances and sings all night long, drifting gently among the shadows. Watch the sky, and you will see. There goes moon in the daytime sky, with sun trailing behind. But never will you see sun move within the nighttime sky. The night belongs to moon, and moon alone. Counting Sheep, an endless tale from the British Isles. There once was a little shepherdess who cared for a large flock of sheep. Since it was springtime, there were many mama sheep, and each mama sheep had a little baby lamb. Every morning, the little shepherdess would take her sheep to pasture. Every evening, she would bring them home again. On the way home, those sheep had to jump over a little stone fence. Here comes the first mama sheep to jump the fence. Baa, baa. Here comes her little lamb. Baa. Here comes the second mama sheep to jump the fence. Baa, baa. Here comes her little lamb. Baa. Here comes the third mama sheep to jump the fence. Baa, baa. Here comes her little lamb. Baa. Here comes the fourth mama sheep to jump the fence. Telling these stories to children. We hope you will read these stories aloud many times, so often that you begin to tell them without the book. In sharing Snow Bunting's lullaby and the Nestlings' Kanji Jo song, you could use the tunes I suggest, or just make up your own. My sources do not tell us what tunes the original teller sang, so I had to invent my own. So, like Papa Bunting, you may want to do the same. Here is Snow Bunting's lullaby. This story has a soft, gentle feel. I tend to downplay the bit of violence in which Papa Bunting attacks Raven, whom I depict as sassy and unruly rather than scary. The entire story, in fact, plays much like a lullaby. If telling to 1 or 2 children, I touch each one gently on their toes, wings, and beak as I sing, as if trying to lull them to sleep. Even when telling this story to a large group of children, I retain this feeling of singing them all to sleep during the story's lullabies. Chin Chin Kopokama. This is a lively little teaching tale. The children will want to chant Chin Chin Kopokama with you, especially when hearing the story for a second or third time. For daytime use, in story hour, or in the classroom, the story can be quite active. I make little stabbing motions and chant vigorously with the samurai. For bedtime, of course, I subdue the motions and the vigor of my chanting. About the stories. Snow Bunting's lullaby is told to children in Siberia. There, the snow bunting is one of the first birds to return each spring to build its nest. The illustrations depict snow bunting and raven Variants of this story may be found in Kutka the Raven, Animal Stories of the North, translated by Fainas Solaska, and in Life with Granny Kandiki, based on Tales from the Soviet North by Anna Garf. Neither source states exactly which Siberian culture tells the story, but the illustrations for both books show Chukchi clothing. My apologies. Chin Chin Kobokama was once a favorite of children in Japan. Lafcadio Hearn retold a variant of this in Japanese fairy tales, and a retelling is found in Florence Sakade, Japanese children's favorite stories. Kanjijo, the nestlings, is told to children by the Mende people of West Africa. We were lucky to find versions by 4 different Mende storytellers, so this tale combines bits from several tellers. Among the 4 versions, we found reference to 9 different birds. For this retelling, we chose to depict bushfowl, laughing dove, and the malachite sunbird. In no variant is the species of the nestlings named, so we selected the colorful lilac-breasted roller. Variants of this story may be found in Royal Antelope and Spider, West African Mende Tales by Marion Kilson, and in Defiant Maids and Stubborn Farmers, Tradition and Invention in Mende Story Performance by Donald Constantino. The chant is from a version of the tale collected by Kilson from a man from Bumpe in Bo April 1960. The playground of the sun and moon was once told to Araucanian children in the southernmost tip of Chile and Argentina. This story is elaborated from an episode in Cuando el Sol y la Luna olvidaron la Tierra, cuento basado en una leyenda mapuche Ranculchi, by Alicia Morel in Cuentos Araucanos, La Gente de la Tierra. Her tales were derived from Diccionario Comentado Mapuche Español by Esteban Erize. The tale from which it is extracted was collected by Lehmann Nietzsche from a Ranculchig teller in southern Argentina. Counting Sheep is an adaptation of Stith Thompson motif. Endless tales, hundreds of sheep to be carried over a river one at a time. Margaret Read MacDonald has been a folklorist, children's librarian, and storyteller for over 30 years. She combines these disciplines in her many publications, including the Storyteller's Startup Book, the Storyteller's Source Book, and another picture book, The Old Woman Who Lived in a Vinegar Bottle. She is a children's librarian with the King County Library System in Seattle and the recipient of a recent Fulbright Fellowship. Yvonne Davis has been a working artist for 25 years, producing original prints, etchings, and watercolors. A native of Washington State, she has lived in Germany and Taiwan, and now lives and works on a small island in Puget Sound. Tuck Me In Tales is her first book. This has been Tuck Me In Tales. I hope that you enjoyed this book. I hope that you can read this to yourself or to a little one, to a reader with you. I hope that it brings you sleepiness in the best ways. If you enjoy this content, go ahead and like the video. If you would like to have more read alouds, go ahead and leave a comment for any suggestions that you may have. If you would like to see similar content and you would like to keep up with this, then go ahead and subscribe. Have a good evening, night, or sleep.